Hi, good afternoon. I'm Dawn Monaco,
And I'm Nicole Pratt.
and welcome to our monthly Facebook Live session for SPAN Parent Advocacy Group Network. Sorry, I'm talking about groups today, so I'm a little confused. So today we are going to talk about the SPAN Resource Parent and what that means. And we're lucky enough to have actually two SPAN Resource Parents with us today that we're going to do a little interview and talk about the whole series in general. So before we get started, what I want to do is ask Nicole if you could please read the actual definition at SPAN of what a SPAN Resource Parent is.
The SPAN Resource Parent SRP program is an intensive training program designed to educate volunteers to help parents of children with disabilities and special health care needs to understand their rights and responsibilities under federal and state laws.
So it is a volunteer series. Parents come. It's a 6-week intensive series.
1 day a week for
1
6
day a
weeks.
week for 6 weeks, where parents come and learn the full continuum of laws, both state and federal, along with advocacy skills and the whole area with regard to understanding how to advocate for your child with a disability and also to talk with other parents about this. So we hold this series in both the northern, central, and southern part of the state. And we will advertise this on Eventbrite, where parents can register for this series. The series is held usually from 9:30 in the morning till 2:30 in the afternoon. We do break for lunch. So what we want to do now is we'll talk more about the series in general, but we'd like to introduce a parent to you who has gone through the series and just get her thoughts on the series in general and what she has done with regard to this series after her participation. So we have Jaya.
Jaya George.
So I'm gonna get up from my seat and let Jaya sit down, and Nicole's gonna talk with Jaya.
Thank you, Dawn.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Nicole.
You're welcome. So thank you, Jaya, for coming and participating in our Facebook Live today. So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions about your experiences about working at SPAN. So my first question is, what did you think of the SPAN Resource Parent Training, and how was it beneficial to you?
Definitely 100% beneficial for me. Just to give a little brief history of where I am coming from. My name is Jaya George, and I have a son who sustained a traumatic brain injury a few years ago. And for many, many years, the whole situation of children with a special need was Greek to me. I was overwhelmed, I was confused, I did not know what is really going on. So anyway, I attended this training in 2 years ago, and it just opened my eyes, literally. It talked about and it taught me about the special needs education, about IEP, and rights, and what's my child's rights and my responsibilities as a parent.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot just sit back.
Right.
And state and federal laws that I will have no idea otherwise. I think two most comforting things that I really took out after the training was, one was I was very relieved that, look, people already thought through all these things. There are laws and rules and everything, and we have a system in place. Mm-hmm. So, my child will be well taken care of.
Right.
So that was very comforting. And secondly, tell you the truth, I was thinking, oh my God, so much information, but SPAN knows all these things. So this is almost like a lifeline for me and for other parents. So I thought, you know what, parents, they are naive, they don't know all the stuff. So at least they can reach out to SPAN for that information.
Thank you for that. My next question to you is, tell us, what have you been doing with SPAN since taking the SRP training?
Well, I definitely felt much empowered after taking the exam, not the exam, the training. The SPAN, actually, I was in the SPAN email list, and so I've been exposed to many relevant webinars, meetings, information sessions, and networking opportunities with people who works in this area. So which gave me lots of exposure to information. And tell you the truth, I happened to see a position opening in SPAN. So I'm honored to say that I've been working part-time for SPAN for the past 7 months.
That's
with
good.
Nicole.
Fast.
Yes. Yes, my goal definitely is I learned, I haven't learned everything, but I learned a lot. And I believe SPAN will give me the opportunity and the resources and the pathways to help other parents who are in need.
Great. Well, the last question I have for you is, what would you say to those thinking about taking the training?
Definitely a must attend. And I really mean it. And right now, whoever when I happen to interact with a parent with a special need, I, encourage them, go and register for this training, because to me, it looks like the return of investment is way high. You get lots of resources, you get education, and it's almost like a second home to you. Once you take the class and learn to know the SPAN family, they teach you how you can help other parents. And I think, if you volunteer, it's free too. So what else you can expect?
Right. You make a lot of really great connections in the community.
Absolutely.
And with other organizations, with other parents.
Yep. You get that opportunity. And, tell you the truth, when we took the SRP training, we had wonderful bunch of parents, very open. And the truth is, we all are the Facebook friends right now. So we make that connection too.
Right.
So.
It's important to have those connections and ongoing connections.
Absolutely.
With the women, mostly women. There are some men that do take the training, but mostly women take the training, and they really make great connections in the community.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Jaya, for coming and being part of our Facebook Live today. And we have another mom who has taken the training, and Dawn Monaco is going to come and interview her.
Thank you. Thank you, Nicole.
We'll make a quick switch here. Okay, so I'm back, and so let me introduce to you Arlene Hagopian. Arlene, when did you take the SRP training?
It was actually 2 years ago. I had said 1, but it was about 2 years ago.
Okay. So what did you think about the training?
I mean, I'm probably going to be the biggest cheerleader, but it was a wealth of knowledge with instructors that were there for you for every question. If they didn't have the answer right there, you got the answer. You met families, you met other parents that you knew were going through the same thing, and we definitely needed that support from each other. I just cannot, if you're worried about the amount of information that you're getting, don't be. It's there for you all the time, and the support is there for you also if you don't get it the first time. And there's other opportunities for you to learn even more.
Wonderful. Thank you for that. So tell us, what are you doing now that you took the SPAN training?
Well, I'm also experienced now. But the empowerment that I've received from the SRP trainings and the SEVA, which is the Special Education Volunteer Advocacy.
Right. That's the second part to the SRP.
Is what I actually went ahead and I did it was another intensive program. So then I can go ahead and I can try my best to help other families that need help with IEP meetings or just any other little support that they need. So it's a wonderful program that SPAN has also provided. I've gone to wonderful conferences where I volunteered, but also while I was volunteering, I was able to go to the other tables and also to get some more information. Who doesn't want more information?
That's right.
And it's just been fantastic. I just can't wait to do even more.
And I think, and if you can't tell, she's one of our top people because she's she's a cheerleader for us.
Absolutely.
But what I think is also important is not only are you gaining information, you're also meeting other people who are also want to gain information, and that's also, and you've become your own little network.
Absolutely. I mean, sometimes I forget the names, but you definitely remember the
Right,
faces,
right.
but you get the names later on. You know, who doesn't want to have people in their life that are going to be able to help them, help their children, help other people's children? I cannot even imagine not having that support. I can't.
And I want to mention that she did, Arlene mentioned the SAVA program, which we will have another separate Facebook session on. So hold that thought if you're wondering what that is. It's basically an extension of the SPAN resource training, resource parent training. You don't have to take that if you don't want to. But it's, so you don't. If you take the SRP training, you don't have to take the SAVA training. Of course, we want you to, because it's like Arlene mentioned, it's an extension of the SRP. But we will do a separate session on that. So if you're saying to yourself, "What the heck is that?" You'll be learning more about that.
Too much information.
Do
it.
No, not at all. So I do want to mention that we said it was 6 weeks. I just want to briefly tell you that parents will learn, New Jersey Resource parents, members, whoever attend, professionals, whoever attend the series, will learn New Jersey resources. We talk about the basic rights of special education. We dive deeper into the IEP, and we talk about the essential components of it, because we always say that it's not only important for people to know that there's such a thing as an IEP, but we want you to understand the guts of the IEP, very important. We talk about measurable goals. We talk about the partnership between parents and the school district. Very important. It's a collaborative partnership. And we really talk about what that means. We talk about the transition plan and the importance of the transition plan and how to plan for the future. We discuss adult services, self-advocacy for our young people, and also I say young people with disabilities, but that road begins at a young age, and we want to talk about how to get on that road of self-advocacy. Self-determination, supported decision-making, and health advocacy, really important. What does it mean to be a healthy adult, and then what the health options are out there. So it's a wonderful 6-part series. I think you've heard from our 2 parents that they are extremely happy with it.
Absolutely.
And what they've learned, and that, you know, if you're interested, becoming part of the SPAN family must first begin with the SRP series. So I'm not saying that is always the avenue, but it's a possibility. And you've heard from 2 people here that that's what they've done.
You know, Dawn, I mean, you know how we always go to the doctor, right? We need something. If we have to go to the doctor, if we're not feeling well, the doctor will prescribe. This, for me, SPAN has been the doctor, in a sense, to help me navigate the future for my son. But more importantly, to help me take the steps that I need to help the families be a healthy family that can support their children and be an advocate. And then it's a cycle. Right. It will continue. Right. And that is such a wonderful gift. So I thank you, SPAN, and I thank everybody there for helping us.
Nicole, do you want to come back in while we close up? Thank you so much, Arlene. I'm going to scoop here to make room for Nicole. So, again, this training is scheduled in the northern, central, and southern part of the state. We are in the process now of scheduling our next series. So we encourage you to check out our website, spanadvocacy.org. If you looked on the site and you can't find it and you want to find it, you can certainly email Nicole or myself. My email is dmonaco, which is my last name, dmonaco, @spanadvocacy.org, one full word. I'm going to actually place this here, and why don't you tell them yours?
Mine is, again, my name is Nicole Pratt, so mine is Pratt, NPRATT, @spanadvocacy.org. And we really appreciate you coming on today and getting more information and understanding about what is a SPAN resource parent training. And thank you to Jaya and Arlene for telling a little bit of your story, because we always encourage parents to tell their story.
And we hope to see some more of you out there
yes.
showing interest in this series. I think you will be very happy with it.
And stay tuned for our upcoming next
Yes,
Facebook
next
training
month.
series.
We'll
Next
see
month.
you again.
Yes.
Bye now.
Bye.